Hello. How you all doing? And welcome to Top 10 Thursday with your hostess with the mostess, Kezza, aka Skylar Loves Scoring Movies. And when you see James's video, which he is James Boss, also known as Horror Collector. Sorry that I haven't put this up earlier. It's just that I wanted to do another video before this, and you might either see this before or after this video. Anyway, getting on to Top 10 Thursdays, as always, before, and I will do this every single week, I want to give a shout out to the crew at Top 10 Tuesdays, James, DVD Collector 1974, Zach, Movie Collector 666, and of course Stephen, the Joker 5150, and everyone else that does their Top 10 list, which is like Shannon Riddler and Sinner Ram, and of course Ian Forkable. Because, and I also want to say this, we're not doing this Top 10 Thursdays just to like copy off you guys. We're doing our own Top 10 Thursdays is because we want to not just bring stuff about films, we just want to let you know more about us in general. So that was just a bit of a disclaimer. But anyway, I hope everybody likes watching these sort of videos that myself and James have been doing the past couple of weeks, because we are the gruesome twosome, the tag team of tag teams. Well, they say the tag team of the YouTube community, in a friendly way, of course. And this week's list, I picked this week's list for a change. What I've done was, because when we started out 2 weeks ago, I let James, because he was like, I've just brought him in, so I said, look, you do the first list, and then like alternate weeks we do the lists. So James done it again last week to start the alternate list, and this week it's my turn, and I decided on top 10 items or things that we would never own. And I thought the reason behind this is I wanted to do something different. And the real reason behind it is because we want to explain to you guys that this is like our opinion of what we will never own. It could be something that we don't like, or we don't want it in the house, or we just can't afford it, or we're just like different tastes. It can range from anything. And like, we like it, we don't mind if like even Stephen, or just thinking Ian or Ross or anyone else that's sub to our channels, mine and Horror Collectors, because we would love to know what your opinions is on this, and you could do a video response by doing your top 10, and that's what we like. So anyway, as always, I know people do honourable mentions last, but I like to do my honourable mentions first. And what I'll do with this week, I'm going to explain the reasons why I've chosen my stuff. So, honourable mentions. The first one is Body Slam DVD. Now, the reason behind this, right, I've seen this movie many times. I loved it as a kid. The reason behind this one is because it's not something I'm going to hate. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite films of all time. But the only problem is, I'd never be able to own it, is because it's not a Region 2 release. It's always going to be released on Region 1. So it's kind of difficult for me to own, with me being in the UK and not in the US or Canada. Sorry, nervous habit again. Second honourable mention is a life-size robot. This also is something that I wouldn't hate it was just would be probably out my price range. Because I'd love life-size robots, so I could just stay in bed. I'd love to just stay in bed, sleep in a nice comfy bed that I'd probably never could afford, and let this life-size robot clean up the house, get Tori dressed for school, take her to school, fix Peter's car, anything at all. But it would be something that I couldn't afford. So, next honourable mention. Next honourable mention is an iPad and iPhone. Now, the reason behind this is something that I don't like. I don't like iPhones. I've just never ever been appealed by them. Just because I own a Samsung, I'm a Samsung freak. I've got tellies, Blu-rays, DVDs. My tablet's a Samsung. My phone's a Samsung until I smashed it last night. Every make, say, washing machine, fridge, freezer, cooker, dryer, it's all Samsung. That's how much of a Samsung freak I am. So that's why an iPad and iPhone don't appeal to me. So that's why. Now, I've only got 2 more honourable mentions. The first one is, well, fourth item, is Nightmare on Elm Street box set on Blu-ray. The reason behind that, I know I can afford it. It's not, I'm hit and miss with Freddy Krueger. I'll explain to you why I was terrified as a kid, and I did watch his films as a kid because my brother forced me to watch them. Stuck my head to the television screen, and I've been frightened near enough ever since. And then it was only about 5 or 6 years ago that I started watching it again, and I didn't start with number 1. I actually started with number 5, and then I've done 5 and then 4. I've only actually ever watched in its full entirety 4, 5, Freddy's Dead and The New Nightmare, and I've only seen bits of the remake, so I'm like hit or miss with that. But like, if I do ever buy it, I want to watch it. It'll be one of them things that if I did buy it, I would have to be in the mood to really, really watch it. So that's why I've only given it an honourable mention, because I didn't want it in my top 10, because that'll probably be something that I would end up wanting to own in the end. And the last one is, and this will be a lot of them, any Asian movies, whether it's gory, some fetish type ones, and horror movies that aren't Region 2 released, because I know most of them are Region 1 and it's hard to get. So that's why I've put it down as an honourable mention, because one day I probably would be able to get it. So, and that's like the same with Nightmare on Elm Street, and the bottom one are like the same together as like Body Slam. So their 3 is like sort of the same. It's not like I don't like it. It's because I do. It's just because of region codes that with the Asian one, that I wouldn't be able to own them. So that's 9 minutes in, and I've only just done the honourable mentions and said some stuff. Now let's get into the top 10 items, the actual top 10 list of items, things that I would never own. Sorry, 2 seconds. Sorry about that. And number 10 is a dishwasher. Not that it's because it's out of my price range. It's just that I don't want to be lazy. and just using a dishwasher when I can wash the dishes by hand. Grab a bottle of washing up liquid for £1.30 or Pestle or whatever people use, and just do the dishes by hand. I'd rather do the dishes by hand because you can see better that you're cleaning the dishes than buying a fucking dishwasher for 400, 500 quid. Oh no, we're getting into a rant about a dishwasher now. No, seriously. That's just me. I just wouldn't buy a dishwasher. I'd never ever own a dishwasher. And that's just me. I don't want to be lazy. I'd rather do my dishes by hand. 9. Number 9 is birds. The reason behind birds, it's not a hate thing. It's not that I don't hate them. What it is I'm allergic to birds, so I would never own birds as a pet in the house. Even though my Peter would have a Mickey shed in the back garden in like a heartbeat, he knows that because I'm allergic to them, we can't have them. So that's number 9. Number 8 is a DVD called Begotten. This you can get in region 2, but the problem is it is £120 to buy on Amazon, so it's too expensive. So that's why I'd probably never own it. I'd probably have to get it as a bootleg. And that was number 8. The same with number 7, which costs £125 on Amazon, which is the Gateway Meat. Sorry, snotty nose. On DVD, sorry. And that is the Gateway Meat. So if you didn't hear me the first time, because that costs £125. It's the same with number 8 reason. It's because it's too expensive, and I don't want to be paying out over £100 just for a DVD when you can pay £3-4 for one brand new, and it'll be something better than that. So yeah. Number 6 is actually an animal. If you've ever heard of a bearded dragon, don't get me wrong, I love bearded dragons. It's just that the reason why I wouldn't own it, I know this is going to sound cliche or stupid to people, but you've got to do a lot of cleaning with them. I mean, you've got to clean the cages like out every week or every 2 weeks, and you've got to make sure that the dragon's like proper like fed and stuff like that. And it's just like, the thing is, with me going on holiday, like I like to go on holiday and stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to keep a bearded dragon in the house. It's not that I don't like it. I think dragons are one of the most amazing creatures in the world. It's just I wouldn't own it because it's just too much cleaning. Now, before I get on to number 5, I have spoken about this film that many times, and I couldn't do this top 10 without putting it somewhere in my top 10. And you know what this film is? This film is Cannibal Holocaust. The reason behind it is I'd never own it again. I did own it, but I had to give it to somebody because I didn't want to be having nightmares every single freaking day and just have my mind thinking about that all the time. Like, I could do a review on it right now because I still know near enough every single scene from the film, but I just won't own it. And because of this, like, the animal killings and shit like that, I'm gonna get. That's one thing about me that you should know. I am against animal cruelty. It's like the reason why it's like with the because I use Body Shop products, and they're not tested on animals, so that's why I use their products, you see. So another little thought you didn't know about kezza. So anyway, back onto the list. Number 4 is surprisingly game related. You probably never think I'd have something game related, and I absolutely do agree with James on this, which is my partner in Top 10 Crime, which is Horror Collector, and that is an Xbox One. The reason behind I will never own an Xbox One is because I love my Xbox 360. I'm happy with it. I wouldn't change it for the world. And plus, on the Xbox One, you don't get as much privacy, as a friend of mine found out when, well, who's no longer my friend, because we don't talk anymore. This person decided to do a webcam with the Xbox One, and within about an hour later the police knocked at the door. So basically you don't get any privacy at all with Xbox One. And for my advice, if you want to plan on trading in your Xbox 360 for an Xbox One, do not. I'm telling you now, it'll be your worst ever. That's why if I ever got a new console, I'd probably go with James and get a PS4 or even a PS3. Well, I'd probably get a PS4. So that's my reason behind an Xbox One, because I do own an Xbox 360 and I will not trade it for the world. I love my Xbox 360. I've spent too much getting the things I want for it. I've actually spent about £500–600 getting things for it that I wanted, so I wouldn't spend any more. That doesn't include games. That's just for like the camera thing and wheels and a special chair and stuff like that. So anyway, back to my top 10 list. Yet again, number 3 is a Subaru Impreza. Probably never would ever own it, but it's my favourite make of car in the world. I absolutely love it. I love the shape, I love the design, I just love the velocity, the speed, the colours, the boot space, the seating, everything about it. Even down to the steering wheel and the gear stick. I just love it. But I'll probably never own one. Number. See, roar again. Number 2 is a certain series I've been searching for years, and I probably would never ever own it, but I really am desperate to own it. Because I have always wanted to see the Genki series. I have spoken about this numerous times on other videos. It's not that, it's just that because I love stuff Japanese and I want to explore Japanese more detail. But I'm just so curious about this Genki series, because it's like, for example, there's like an episode with frogs, like, and with an eel stuck up somebody's ass and stuff like that. It's not that, like, it's like a fetish thing for me, because that's not my fetish. It's just something that I'm curious to see and see how I would react to stuff like that. It's just broadening horizons. That's why I do have a fetish, but I don't think it's for the YouTube channel to know. Because it's my business, mine, and it's not to do with any Genki series or any Guzo milk or any stuff like that. It's just that I do have a little fetish of my own. And even if it's done with a certain colour of paint in a tub of bath, fine. But we'll talk about that in another thing. Whew. So anyway, which gets us to number 1 on our top 10 item things that I would never ever own. And I've probably talked about this millions and millions of times, and it is actually a personal phobia of mine. I am definitely afraid of snakes, and the reason why I've put this as my number 1 is because it is my number 1. If I was doing a top 10 phobias, this would be number 1. This would be ultimate phobia of all time, and it'll be something that I'd never ever own. My cousin and a few other people that I know own snakes, and this is the thing: I will not enter somebody's house that owns a snake. If, say, like, I went to apply for, just say for example, come dine with me, and I'd always asked them, would anyone own a snake? Or if I went and done like wife swap, which probably would never happen, ask them, do they own a snake? If they own a snake, do not put me there. I am absolutely terrified. As you know, I went to Gran Canaria last year with Tori and my partner Peter, and they had a show. I literally, and this is one of the reasons why certain people were laughing at me, picking on me, it was because as soon as I saw that snake, there was stairs right by me, and I flew up the stairs, and our Tori followed me up. I am frightened of them. It's just that I don't know what it is. It's just that I keep on thinking it's not just everything. It's more, I think it's psychological as well. And because I always have this feeling that the snake's under the bed, the snakes are going to come up in the bed and they're going to eat me up and stuff like that. It's really horrible. And it's put a pronounced effect on me. It's like, also at the show, they brought the snake close to me, and I was like that. I was absolutely terrified. They were all laughing at me, and one of the friends asked, how come you're thinking of the snake? And I said, look, I'm absolutely terrified of the snake. I said, it's been like that since I was a kid. So they're my top 10 items, things that I'd never ever own. I hope you like my lists. Go to James, aka Horror Collector. Check out his lists. My list has gone 23 odd minutes, including spoilers. You've had everything. You've had everything in my list. You've even had me talking about my paint fetish. Yeah, I've got a paint fetish, a red paint fetish. So yeah, anything to do with red and the colour of blood, I just got a little thing for. That's why I'm not afraid of like needles and stuff like that, or seeing my own blood. I'm not afraid of that. I've had my head cut open. I've had my eye, under my eye, all blood shot out my face, and I'm not thingy by it. I just love it. So yeah. Anyway, so you've had everything. You've had everything from snakes, DVDs, computers, cars, the lot. So yeah, go over to James's channel, which is Horror Collector. Check out his list, and I know people are going to want to comment, so, because I always do a thing now where you can't like and dislike because of stupid people. So if you want to comment away. If you don't, that's yourself. And if you want to subscribe. So yeah, I hope you like this it's almost 25-minute long video. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Bye.